friendship, and her sharp wit and thoughtful personality truly drew people in. When I think back to my sister's time at St. Jude, it is the friendships and connections my sister cultivated with the other children that's most moving. When Keeley dreamed up Hope in the Harbor 12 years ago, it was centered around friendship, and that still rings true this evening. In this room tonight, we have Keeley's family, childhood friends, school and sports friends, as well as her St. Jude friends and their families. In the last 12 years, there has been one very special St. Jude friend of my sister's that I've had the pleasure of getting to know and spend time with. Marit and Keeley received treatment at St. Jude at the same time and met each other while living at the Target House on St. Jude's campus. In the years since, Marit has continued to join us at the Hope in the Harbor, and her and I have had the opportunity to see each other on multiple other occasions as well. Each visit with Marit, I'm reminded of Keeley and her spirit, sense of humor, and self-confidence. And I'm always struck by Marit's wise words and overall outlook on things. Marit, I think in a lot of ways, has given me strength to carry on Keeley's legacy and the virtue of friendship that is so deeply rooted in all that St. Jude's does. Please join me in now welcoming back to Hope in the Harbor a very special St. Jude friend of my sister's, Marit.
Thank you, Maura, for that wonderful introduction. I truly believe that Keeley is beaming with love from heaven for you and your mom, especially tonight. I imagine she is very proud of you both for honoring her wishes to continue to help the kids at St. Jude. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe Keeley is also grateful that all of you are here tonight to support St. Jude. I wish to thank you for being here and for listening to me speak on behalf of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude has definitely become a home away from home for me, as I am now a 14-year cancer survivor. This is the fourth time I've had the huge honor to be at Hope in the Harbor speaking. Allow me to tell you a little bit or remind some of you how I got to know and love Judi, Maura, and Keeley. I got to know Judi, Maura, and Keeley through my mom. She was introduced to Judi the first week I arrived at St. Jude to begin treatment 14 years ago in June of 2008. Our mutual St. Jude social worker introduced my mom and Judi to each other. She knew they both had nursing backgrounds. She knew that Keeley and I had already been through the exact same treatment for the exact same diagnosis. We both had a medulloblastoma brain tumor, which had spread, so it was considered to be stage 3. Because of these commonalities, our social worker had an accurate hunch that Judi and my mom might connect and even like each other. My mom recently reminded me that before that important introduction, my mom watched Judi pushing an IV pole alongside Keeley in the MRI waiting room. Keeley and Judi were there for Keeley's 3-month end of treatment follow-up MRI. I was back in the scanner getting my first of so many MRIs at St. Jude. My mom told me she saw Jude walking alongside her beautiful daughter in a headscarf and was inspired by the obvious strength and beauty of this teenage young woman and her accompanying mom, Judi. My mom also noticed Judi sporting a Kate Spade designer handbag, and she sensed they shared a style bond as well. When I was 6 years old, I didn't know who Kate Spade was or the style that represented her, but I do get it now. Okay. The friendship between them was immediate and easy. My mom sought Judy's expertise and experience via phone calls as I got through my treatment. I don't remember much about treatment, but like Keeley, I was very sick throughout it. I won't get into the details, but as you might know or imagine, the treatment we both endured was very harsh. The effects of radiation and chemotherapy are still with me and would have been with Keeley as well. Some of the major effects include cognitive issues, hair loss, which may never return, hearing loss, endocrine dysfunction, and growth issues. I'd love to share with you some of what I have experienced since I last spoke here 3 years ago when I was just a junior in high school. In 2020, amidst the global pandemic, I graduated from high school. I had been accepted into a special program at the University of California in Los Angeles called the Pathway Program. The Pathway Program at UCLA is a 2-year program specializing in helping young adults with various intellectual and developmental challenges. I began attending this program full-time and virtually in the fall of 2020 and continued my first year totally virtually due to COVID. Last fall, I finally got the opportunity to be mostly fully engaged on the UCLA campus. Part of the program focuses on helping all of the students in the program live more independently. I lived in an apartment with a suite mate for the entire school year last year and completed all of the required classes to graduate from their program. I also began an internship at a local preschool late last spring. I will continue attending school all this year so I may work towards achieving a certificate in early childcare education. That certificate will hopefully qualify me to become a preschool teaching assistant, which is what my career goal is right now. I'm starting school this coming Monday. I'd like to share that I recently returned from a visit to St. Jude this past summer. As usual, I was happy to make a trip to the hospital, and as always, I received magnificent care while there. I had an MRI at St. Jude in 2020 during the pandemic. That MRI revealed a small, non-cancerous growth, a meningioma. I am told that these occur often when people undergo radiation, like I received. This meningioma grew a little bit in 2 years. Keeley and my doctor, Dr. Gala, wants me to come back to St. Jude next August to get another MRI. I will then likely have to get it surgically removed sometime after that. I share this as a reminder that many times the effects of childhood cancer and treatment linger as a result. I know I will have to try to be as healthy as I can for the rest of my life. But enough about me now. Allow me to reflect upon Keeley for a few minutes with you. If Keeley had survived cancer, she would now be 29 years old. She became an angel when she was just 18 years old. I have now lived nearly 3 years longer than she did. She didn't get a college experience. She never had the opportunity to have a career. She missed out on too much. She would now be old enough to be married and have her own children. Had cancer not come along and stopped her in the dawn of her life. But even though I just said that, I know Keeley will never be forgotten. When Danny Thomas pledged that no child should die in the dawn of life, he probably had no idea how that would resonate through the many future decades. I know there are several other people dear friends of ours who are in the audience who have also coped with the loss of their children from this devastating disease. St. Jude's superior care and research has elevated the survival rate from 20% to over 80% since 1962. But there are still too many children who don't survive. And there are other children and young adults like me who endured brutal treatment, leaving lifelong lingering effects. Still, I want to make it perfectly clear that I am grateful to St. Jude for saving my life, for all of the exceptional care that St. Jude continues to provide me, and for people like you who continue to support its mission. I know that all of you are here because you care about the Imel family and St. Jude's mission. Your generosity will help St. Jude continue to provide the best care, not only to the kids at St. Jude, but to the families as well. Please consider generously giving to St. Jude by supporting this cutting-edge research hospital that saved my life, thousands of other kids' lives, and all of the kids in the future who are diagnosed with cancer who need St. Jude's help. Thank you.
Take a bow. Come here, beauty. I've watched you grow since you were just a little girl. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. And there's no one that could have said that better than Maura. And we should have Marit. You know, when Corey was up here speaking, she talked a lot about